around the world as we're all trying to manage and get through this crisis, this global crisis that we're in. Hello from the Iron Paradise. I hope this reaches you well, or as well as can be. Again, I know that we're all being accountable and doing everything that we can to protect ourselves, social distancing, protect our babies, our loved ones, certainly our elderly. I have some elderly in my family. They're very high risk, so we're trying to protect them as best as we possibly can. Just finished my leg workout, you know, with every post, I generally try and read all of your comments, even if there's, 5,000 comments. I try to sift through them, and I realize that there's always a lot of questions that you guys send me that I never ask. So I thought, while we have some downtime for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4, 5, whatever it is, in between work, I know a lot of you guys like myself are working from home, trying to figure out our new business methodologies and things like that. In the spirit of entertaining you, I figured I'd answer some questions. All right, so first question that I get asked often is, well, when did I start working out? I first started working out when I was 12 years old. I had my first official workout was with my dad, Rocky Johnson, rest in peace, soul man. He passed away January 15th of this year. But anyway, my dad was a workout beast, an animal, and he was built like just a brick house. So, I would always go to the gym with my dad and watch him on the weekends, but I wasn't allowed to work out. So I would just watch him and all his OG buddies in the gym just train hard and clang and bang and, those old school dudes. So 12 years old in Hawaii, my dad finally said, all right, you can come to the gym with me. And it was a Saturday. So I was really pumped to go to the gym with my dad. I was 12. And before we walked in, he said, listen, you're going to work your ass off. I don't want any bullshitting. And he goes, whatever you put on the bar when we do bench press, he goes, I'm going to show you how to do a bench press first. Whatever we put on the bar, you have got to push it up. Whatever weight you choose, you've got to push it up. You've got to get it out of the hole. And for those of you who don't know, out of the hole basically is from this position up to here, and the rest, your triceps should be able to take over your triceps and your shoulders. So anyway, he was just teaching me the lesson on how to get it from here to here, because that's where your power is. And I said, of course, I got it. He was like, are you sure? I said, yes. He's like, you sure you understand? I said, yes. And I think he knew me. It's that testosterone DNA that we had. So even when I was 12. So we get in there and we start off with a bar and 25-pound plates on both sides. Did my first set. Bang, I pushed it up. Pretty good. A little bit of struggle, but got it up. He said, all right, let's throw on 5-pound plates on each side. I said, no, let's put on 35. Let's add 10. He's like, no. And I said, no, do it. And by this time, I could start to feel like people looking, because again, everybody watched my dad and his buddies when they were working out. So we threw on 35s on each side. We stripped the 25s, threw the 35-pound plates on. He gave me a lift off. I went down with it. I barely got it out of the hole. And he had to, give me that spot. And he goes, okay, this is where we're going to stay. We'll stay here. And I said, no, let's go up and wait. He paused and he said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. He goes, how much you want to put on? I said, let's throw the 45s on. Because, when you're a kid and, you're in the gym and you're just starting to work out, you want to graduate to the 45-pound plates. That's where the big boys play. So we stripped off the 35s, put on the 45-pound plates, and he goes, remember what I told you? You better push this off your chest. I said, I got it. I'm feeling myself at 12 years old. I don't know why, by the way, because I had a fucked up afro and acne all over the place, but I was still feeling myself. He gave me a lift off. I took that weight, and I went down with it, and I could not control that. That weight buried me and got stuck right here on my chest. I started to panic, and my dad was he was standing over me. He was saying, now push up the weight, push the weight up. I was like, I can't push it up, I can't. Now, of course, it really wasn't that dangerous because it wasn't by my throat. It wasn't like he was going to let me, crush my larynx. But my dad also, he was a tobacco chewer at that time, and he always dipped snuff. His gig was Copenhagen And he didn't do it in the side of his cheek, he did it right here in his lip. So he goes, come on, push it up, and he's standing over me. And for those of you know, people who dip snuff, you're always spitting a lot. And he's got spit coming out of his mouth. It's falling on my face and shit. I'm getting embarrassed, I'm panicking, and he's like, push it up. I'm like, I can't. He goes, I'm not helping you, I told you. Now there's a big scene in the gym, everybody's looking. I tip the weight to one side, it goes off the bar. The other side, momentum goes off this bar, and it just clangs everywhere, and embarrassing as shit. I get up, you know how sometimes when you're so embarrassed, you get up and you just want to swing at somebody? Of course I wasn't going to swing at my dad, I was just like, shit. But you know you're the idiot who was responsible for all this. And he just looked at me, and he goes, now pick up the weights. I picked up the weights, and he goes, here's a lesson for you. He said, don't worry about other people looking at you, and don't ego train. Don't ever train for your ego. It doesn't matter who gives a shit who's watching you. You train for results, and you train with weight that you can control. That's how you're going to be a master, basically, in the gym, is what he was trying to say. And he's like, don't train for your ego, ever. He's like, there's enough idiots who are training for their ego, and they put on weight on the bar that they can't handle. And he said, do you understand? And I said, yeah, I understand. And he's like, all right, let's go finish. Now, at this gym, it was World Gym in Hawaii. It's not there anymore. It was in Waikiki on Kalakaua Avenue. And it's an open gym because the weather is beautiful. So there were the walls, the windows were just open. So it was like a gate, like a fence. Those were the walls. And my dad's like, okay, let's go. And he turns the spit out the window, like a big load of tobacco spit. And he didn't see a dude out there who was painting. And this dude, you hear, what the fuck? You see the dude like come up like this, and you see him through the window, and he's got tobacco spit all over his face. My dad started laughing so hard, and I started laughing so hard, and my dad kind of just walked away, and I looked at the dude, and I was like, sorry. What an asshole, right? Okay, see you, buddy. And I walked away. Anyway, lesson learned, 2 lessons out of this is, not only is this 8 minutes of your life you're never going to get back, but the lessons learned are, don't ego train at all. This generally applies to men, because we are the ones with the egos in the gym. Don't ego train. Don't train for your ego. Train for results, and throw on weight that you can handle. And if you're ever going to spit out of a window, make sure that nobody's outside painting. All right, you guys stay healthy all around the world. We'll manage this thing. Everything will get better. We have to stay calm in the pocket as we will for sure persevere, us as a nation and you guys around the world too. All right, stay healthy.